Hi, I'm Jennifer Rader with New American Funding, and I'm here to talk to you about our NAF Cash program. We're going to go through some of the bullet points and the process of the program. After this video, you'll have a great understanding of how the process works and how the program works, so that way when you're ready to buy, you know exactly what to do.
Did you know in a typical market, 27% of home sales go to cash buyers? And statistically, the seller will often accept less money when dealing with a cash buyer, up to 12% less on average. That's tens of thousands of dollars. Wall Street is buying hundreds of thousands of homes and turning them into rentals. If you're out there making offer after offer and not being chosen, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So NAF Cash will allow you to use our cash when making your offer. And that moves you right to the front of the line. What's there to think about? Call us today.
Okay, so let's talk about the steps of NAF Cash. The first step is to do a mortgage application. This is a digital application where you'll do it online. We will review it and get you approved with underwriting and with the NAF Cash program. We fully underwrite your loan up front so you have 100% certainty of approval. We are looking for a couple things for the program. First of all, a 620 score, a 1.5% down payment for VA, and a 5% down payment for a conventional loan. These are traditional earnest money deposits that you get back when you perform the buyback, which we will talk about a little bit later. We're also looking for a 30% equity in your vacating home if you have one to sell. But don't worry if you don't. We can also stack assets on top of the equity you have to make up the difference. This can be with stocks, bonds, 401k, and other investment accounts. If you don't have to liquidate them, you just have to have access to them. If you don't have a house to sell, you can still use the program, and of course there would be no equity requirements. When we submit your loan for NAF Cash approval, we will also get you approved for the final loan. This means that you will have two options when you find your dream home. You can make a normal contingent offer, business as usual, or you can make a non-contingent all-cash offer using the NAF Cash program. You have the best of both worlds when you get approved for NAF Cash. Now that underwriting has approved you and you have your liquid funds, you are ready to submit an offer. We will be assigned a NAF Cash transaction coordinator who will help your realtor draft your offer. The TC will send the appropriate letter along with proof of funds to show we have the funds to pay cash for your home. Now we enter phase 3 of the cash transaction. We can close as soon as 12 days. We don't have to, but closing fast is an added benefit of using the program. At this closing, we pay all closing costs and insurance on the property. The only upfront cost for you is the inspection. We will ask you for a copy of the inspection to make sure there's nothing detrimental with the home that would deter you from buying it. After the cash closing, we move on to phase 4, which is the move-in. So NAF Cash has just paid all cash for your dream home, and you can move right in, becoming our tenant until you execute the lease buyback, which is when you buy it back from NAF Cash. You'll see by the chart behind me that the rent is based on the purchase price. Rent starts accruing on day 1, but the payment is deferred for 60 days or until you close on the second transaction, whichever comes first. We defer it so that you don't have a double mortgage and rent payment while trying to sell your existing home. Again, if you have one to sell. It does accrue daily, so if we close the buyback or second transaction in 46 days, you'll pay just 46 days of rent. Remember though, even though we don't collect it from you in those first 60 days, it is accruing. If you haven't bought the home back by the 60-day mark, rent will become due and payable on the 61st day. NAF Cash will accept credit card, check, or wire, whatever is easiest for you. Each month forward after that, rent increases by 10% as an end is due each month. Now we are entering phase 5. That is the buyback or second transaction when NAF Cash sells the home back to you. At this point, you've already sold your vacating home if you had one to sell, and you have your proceeds in hand. This part is just like any other closing. You will have closing costs. If you remember, when we paid cash for your home, we paid all of the closing costs and insurance. We do charge a fee for the program. You'll see by the chart behind me that it varies from state to state as it depends on typical closing costs for that state. The great news is that we can use the NAF Cash program in all 50 states. So let's give you an example. In Texas, the program fee is 1.95%. Let's use an easy number. Let's say we bought the home, all cash for you at $100,000. When we sell it back to you, we add the program fee to the sales price, so we would sell it back to you at $101,950. So we just talked about the process of the NAF Cash program. Let's talk about some of the benefits of using it. One of the biggest benefits of the program is that you no longer have to wait to list your home, get it under contract, and then hope that it closes within 30 to 45 days so you can go buy the house you really want. With NAF Cash, you get approved up front, you go find the house of your dreams, put an all-cash offer in, and we buy the home for you. This gives you time to move out and prepare the house you vacated for listing in the next 7 days. That 7 days is huge. If you've done this process conventionally before, you know it's a pain to list your house. You have to schedule the showings, gather the cats, gather the dogs, gather the kids, clean it, and vacate it for every showing, all the while living in it and keeping it in showing condition. With this program, you get to identify your dream house, you get to move in, and then you list your house. And to add, you don't have to do it that way. If your house is already listed, that's okay too. The biggest point here is that in a normal real estate environment, it's very unfortunate that a lot of times you find the house you really like, but by the time you sell your current home, the house you loved is no longer available. This program is a game changer and will avoid that for you. In addition, most people don't qualify to buy a home without selling their existing home, sometimes due to a debt-to-income ratio issue or needing the proceeds from the sale for the down payment. Selling the traditional way can be scary and stressful. You list your home, get under contract, and now you have a deadline to get out, meaning you have to find and close on your next home within that deadline. With this program, you get pre-approved for NAF Cash, you monitor the inventory, and when the perfect house hits the market, you make an all-cash offer, you get to move in, and then you get to list your home for sale. Another huge benefit is for buyers who do not have a home to sell but are in a very competitive situation. We've used this program for veterans whose sellers wouldn't accept a VA loan. We've used it for first-time home buyers who are in a very competitive price point and keep getting outbid by other cash offers. There are so many advantages to using this all-cash program. It really is a game changer. So give me a call and let's see what we can do to get you into your dream home.